On July 16, 1969, the world held its breath. 3 American astronauts were about to embark on a journey like no other. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were the crew of Apollo 11. Their mission to land on the moon and return safely to Earth. The success of Apollo 11 would mark a pivotal moment in human history. The Apollo program, initiated by President John F. Kennedy, was a bold response to the Soviet Union's early lead in the space race. Kennedy's challenge to land a man on the moon before the end of the decade galvanized the nation. It pushed the boundaries of science, technology, and human ingenuity. The world watched, captivated by the audacity of the mission and the courage of the astronauts. Apollo 11 was a victory not just for America but for all humankind. It proved that with collaboration, innovation, and a shared vision, we could achieve the seemingly impossible. The story of Apollo 11 continues to inspire generations, reminding us that our potential for greatness is limitless. At 9:33 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the engines of the Saturn V rocket ignited. A colossal column of fire and smoke erupted from the launch pad at Kennedy Space Center. The ground trembled, and a deafening roar echoed across the Florida coastline as the most powerful rocket ever built began its ascent into the sky. The Saturn V was a marvel of engineering, a 3-stage behemoth standing over 36 stories tall. Each stage played a critical role in propelling the Apollo spacecraft out of Earth's gravitational grip and towards the moon. The first stage, powered by 5 massive F-1 engines, provided the initial thrust needed to lift the colossal rocket off the ground. It consumed fuel at an astonishing rate, burning for just over 2.5 minutes before separating and falling back to Earth. The second stage, with its 5 J2 engines, then took over, continuing to accelerate the spacecraft as it climbed higher and higher. Finally, the third stage, with its single J2 engine, provided the final push. It placed the Apollo spacecraft into Earth orbit and later, after a brief coasting period, ignited again to perform the translunar injection maneuver. The roar of the Saturn V's engines gradually faded into a distant rumble as the rocket disappeared from view. The success of the Saturn V was a result of the collective effort of thousands of engineers, technicians, and scientists. Once in Earth orbit, the Apollo 11 crew conducted system checks, ensuring everything was functioning correctly for the next phase of their mission, the journey to the moon. This leg of the journey would be initiated by the translunar injection, or TLI burn, a critical maneuver that would propel the spacecraft out of Earth's orbit and onto a trajectory towards the moon. The TLI burn was a precisely timed and executed event. Any miscalculation or error could have sent the spacecraft off course, dooming the mission. The burn was successful, and Apollo 11 began its 3-day journey to the moon. As the spacecraft sped away from Earth, our planet shrunk in size, becoming a smaller and smaller blue and white sphere against the backdrop of the vast black emptiness of space. After a journey of approximately 76 hours, Apollo 11 approached the moon. The crew prepared for another critical maneuver, the lunar orbit insertion, or LOI burn. The LOI burn was successful, and Apollo 11 entered into lunar orbit. For the first time, humans were circling another celestial body. With the command module, Columbia, remaining in lunar orbit with Michael Collins at the helm, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin boarded the lunar module, Eagle, for their descent to the moon's surface. The Eagle was a 2-stage spacecraft, designed for landing on the moon and returning to lunar orbit. The descent stage, with its powerful engine and 4 landing legs, would handle the crucial task of landing on the moon. The ascent stage, carrying the crew cabin and the engine for returning to lunar orbit, would later be used to rejoin Columbia. Separation from Columbia was tense but successful. As the Eagle began its descent, Armstrong and Aldrin relied on their onboard computer and radar to guide them toward the designated landing site in the Sea of Tranquility. However, as they approached the surface, warning alarms sounded, indicating the computer was overloaded. The situation grew increasingly tense as Armstrong took manual control of the lunar module, using his piloting skills to navigate the treacherous lunar terrain. Fuel was running dangerously low, and the world watched with bated breath as Armstrong searched for a suitable landing spot. Finally, with just seconds of fuel remaining, he announced, "Houston, Tranquility Base here, the Eagle has landed." It was 6:17 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on July 20, 1969. Humanity had landed on the moon. The successful landing of the Eagle was a testament to the skill and courage of Armstrong and Aldrin. After several hours of preparations, Neil Armstrong slowly descended the ladder of the lunar module's landing leg. His boots made contact with the powdery lunar surface, and he spoke the words that would be etched in history. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. It was a moment that transcended national boundaries and united the world in awe and wonder. Buzz Aldrin soon joined Armstrong on the lunar surface, and together they spent the next 2.5 hours exploring their surroundings. They planted an American flag, deployed scientific instruments, and collected lunar samples to bring back to Earth. They marveled at the desolate beauty of the lunar landscape, describing it as magnificent desolation. Throughout their moonwalk, Armstrong and Aldrin maintained contact with Mission Control in Houston, Texas, via a radio link. Their voices, crackling across the vast distance between the moon and Earth, provided a real-time account of their activities, captivating listeners around the globe. The images of Armstrong and Aldrin walking on the moon, broadcast live to a global audience, were a powerful testament to the power of human ingenuity and the indomitable spirit of exploration. Their every step on the lunar surface was a step into the unknown, a testament to the boundless curiosity that drives us to push the limits of what's possible. During their historic moonwalk, Armstrong and Aldrin deployed several scientific instruments. These instruments were designed to gather data about the moon's environment, including its seismic activity, magnetic field, and solar wind exposure. These experiments would provide valuable insights into the moon's composition, history, and interaction with space. The astronauts also collected lunar samples, carefully gathering rocks and soil for analysis back on Earth. These samples, weighing a total of 47.5 pounds, would provide scientists with a wealth of information about the moon's geology and formation. Before returning to the Eagle, Armstrong and Aldrin received a congratulatory phone call from President Richard Nixon. Nixon, speaking from the Oval Office, hailed their achievement as the greatest week in the history of the world since creation. His words reflected the profound impact the Apollo 11 mission had on the world, capturing the sense of wonder and shared accomplishment felt by people across the globe. The activities conducted on the lunar surface during the Apollo 11 mission were not just about exploration, they were about expanding our understanding of the universe and our place within it. After spending 21 hours and 36 minutes on the lunar surface, it was time for Armstrong and Aldrin to begin their journey back to Earth. They left behind the descent stage of the Eagle, which would remain on the moon, serving as a silent testament to their historic achievement. The ascent stage of the Eagle, with its precious cargo of lunar samples and invaluable experiences, lifted off from the moon, leaving behind the footprints and the flag. A successful rendezvous and docking with the command module Columbia followed, and the three astronauts were reunited. They began their journey back to Earth, their spacecraft carrying not just lunar samples, but also the hopes and dreams of a generation inspired by their extraordinary feat. As their spacecraft entered Earth's atmosphere, it glowed red-hot from the friction, a fiery reminder of the speed at which they were re-entering. Splashdown in the Pacific Ocean took place on July 24, 1969, marking the end of their incredible journey. The world rejoiced as the astronauts were recovered safely, bringing with them stories and souvenirs from their trip to the moon. The legacy of Apollo 11 extends far beyond the footprints left on the lunar surface. It ignited a passion for science and exploration in a generation, inspiring countless careers in STEM fields. The technological innovations spurred by the Apollo program, from advancements in computing and materials science to communication and medical technology, continue to shape our world today. The mission also had a profound cultural impact, uniting people around the world in a shared sense of wonder and achievement. It demonstrated the power of human collaboration and ingenuity, proving that seemingly impossible dreams could be realized with determination and a shared vision. The Apollo 11 mission serves as a powerful reminder of what we can achieve when we dare to dream big. It is a testament to the human spirit of exploration, our relentless pursuit of knowledge, and our boundless capacity for innovation. The legacy of Apollo 11 is not just about the past, it's about inspiring new generations to explore the universe. The story of Apollo 11 continues to resonate today, inspiring new generations to reach for the stars. It reminds us that the human spirit of exploration knows no bounds, that with collaboration, innovation, and a shared vision, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve the extraordinary. As we stand on the cusp of a new era of space exploration with plans for lunar outposts, missions to Mars, and the search for life beyond our planet, the lessons learned from Apollo 11 serve as a guiding light. The challenges ahead are significant, but the rewards are immeasurable. The future of space exploration belongs to those who dare to dream big, to those who are inspired by the legacy of Apollo 11 and are determined to carve their own paths in the cosmos. The journey that began with Apollo 11 is far from over. It is a journey that will continue to inspire, challenge, and captivate humanity for generations to come.